Well, is there anything different about playing in a game like this, 2 5-3 teams? You're playing a team that has great experience as a playoff team. You guys are trying to get there yourselves. Is there any kind of, I don't know, measuring stick quality to this type of match?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just one of those games that, is going to be really important for the, the outcome of both of our seasons. And so we know it's important for us, and obviously it's going to be really important for them. So I think in saying that, the game's ultimately pretty big and it's got a lot, going into it.
Bo, could you speak about the challenges that you think Torrey Franklin's B presents to defenses?
I think, whenever you can stretch the field like that, any offense that has that guy, it's tough on defenses because they have to stay back. And when you stay back, they give up some completions underneath, and the run game becomes a little easier. And so it's definitely good to have guys that can run. It's good to have team speed. And, I feel like we're using that to our advantage right now.
Well, there's a lot made of the 6 quarterbacks taken high in the draft. Do you? I imagine you got to know these guys in the process. Do you keep up with them? Do you watch what they're doing, Jaden?
Well, I don't really have a choice because those guys are all over video when you watch it throughout the week. So, I'm definitely, intrigued with other quarterbacks around the league, not only the young guys, but the vets that have been doing it for a while. I really enjoy preparing for games because I get to watch, countless guys around the league that have played at high levels, and, some that are, older and some that have been doing it for a long time, and then others like, Jaden and Caleb and, others that we're just now doing it, for the first time. So it's fun to see all of our growth, and it's fun to watch other guys.
Both statistically, the Ravens are 32nd in the league against defending the pass. What do you see on tape when you look at them?
Well, I see a lot of teams having to go to the pass because they're down, by a few scores, and you can't chase points, but essentially that's what, they force teams to do. They get an early lead, and teams stop running the ball on them, and, they have to go to the pass. So because of that, naturally teams are going to gain yards through the air if they're one-dimensional. So I think in saying that, we have to do a good job of staying balanced this game.
So there's some rushing statistics where you're pretty similar to Lamar this season.
Yeah.
Do you look at his game at all in terms of certain things that he does? Or?
If I try to do what Lamar would do, I wouldn't be here because he's special when it comes to not only running the ball. He's well known for his explosive runs, but he's a full qualified quarterback in the pocket, and he does some really good things with his arm. I think he's underrated when it comes to throwing the ball, but it's going to be fun seeing him. I've never met him. It's going to be fun being around him, watching him in person for, I guess, the second time. I watched him play Clemson when I was in high school. I went and watched the Clemson game, and he was electric in that one too. So I'm excited to play, against him on the same level. It's still crazy I get to play against these guys that, growing up watching him. He's, 2-time MVP. He's been doing it for a few years now at a high level. So I definitely don't want to be compared to him at running the ball because I'm not quite there.
Sean said again today, you're faster than you thought you were before the draft. Were you ever tempted to run for them and show them, or did that ever come up?
Well, not really. I thought, when it comes to the tape, I felt like I've, shown enough of that quality. I felt like, if anything, I wanted to show, my throwing ability throughout the process, because if anything, I was not wanting to get tied up with the running stuff, but I think it's a, double-edged sword. You run fast, and all of a sudden you become a runner, and then, if you don't run, then you're just stuck in the pocket. So it's tough on guys, and the titles are always, hit or miss because we're all just out there playing quarterback, doing whatever we got to do for our team. Sometimes it's running, sometimes it's throwing.
But it was important to you in the draft process for everyone to see you, hey, look, I'm this kind of quarterback.
Yeah, I thought that was important. There was a big challenge, especially going in my pro day. I wanted to just, make the pro day hard, make every throw, and ultimately I landed right where I needed to be, and it's a great fit for both of us. So couldn't be happier with how it ended up, and I learned from Coach Payton a lot each and every game we go into together. I learned more and more.
Oh, speaking of Sean, after the win on Sunday, he's really harped on the turnovers, specifically from the fumbles on offense. How important is it moving forward to really eliminate those?
Well, it goes without saying. You can't turn the ball over, but at the same time, like we talked about this week, you can't sit on the ball and take a knee every play. So sometimes you're going to put the ball in play. Sometimes they make a good play. They make a good play in the air. They punch it out. I thought both LJs and Court, they were tough football plays, and they weren't necessarily careless with the ball. Those guys made good plays, and I'm not worried about those two. They're veterans. They've handled it really well this week. We know it's important. We got to eliminate them and continue to win the turnover margin. When we do that, we're successful. So we just got to find ways to continue to do it. It's got to be most important.
So these AFC North teams are kind of known around the league as being really physical, being tough. When you go into a game against a team like that, you kind of have to expect that going in, that it's going to be kind of a slog.
Yeah, it's you do, and these guys have been that for a long time. They have notoriously been physical, and guys that have come before have set the tone for who they are as a defense. So we know it's going to be a physical football game. We know that they're going to be really ready to play. They've kind of hit their stride, and we just got to be good in all phases of the game. We got to do a good job running the ball. We got to stay good on early downs. We got to stay out of third and longs. And we just got to execute the play that's called. We're going to have a good plan, and ultimately, we got to match it. We know what it's going to be. We got to match the intensity, the passion, and the physicality that they're going to play with. And I'm excited for the challenge, because these are the type of games that you go through and you play, and they're extremely difficult and they're hard at the moment, but when you get out of them, you grow a lot as a player. You learn a lot about yourself, about your team, and ultimately going on the road and competing and winning a game like this is special for an organization too. So it's not going to be easy, but we're going to be ready.